This is Rapid Fire News, February 27th, 2025. I'm Stonewall. We continue with our exclusive reporting from the Bay of Bengal at the Indian Space Center, where it seems that yesterday there was an unprecedented event. We go now to Al Gore.
Thank you, Stone. They have been working on comms to be able to speak with CHRISTOFF. As most people are aware, this is an unprecedented event. It's the first time in history that a news reporter has been launched into space, albeit by complete accident. The mission was a remote one that would have had 3 live pigs in the capsule. Wait, I'm hearing that they might have comms up now. Yes, they're bringing me a cable. We might be able to communicate with them. Here goes.
Hello, Earth. Can you hear me? This is Christoph Barringer, reporting live from fucking space.
Yes, Christoph. Al Gore here. Tell us, what's it like to be the first reporter in space?
Yes, well, sure, Al. It's cold and it's dark, and I had no intentions of doing this, and I would very much like to come home now.
They tell me that that's not possible. The flight is programmed for 4 days, 36 hours to the moon, a touch and go on the moon, which is about 24 hours, and then a 36 hours back. Christoph, tell us what it was like at liftoff.
Absolutely horrible. I was terrified. My bones were shaking. I lost control of my bladder and my bowels, and I threw up in my helmet. The capsule was designed for pigs to travel in, so there's no seats. Just a small pen with some hay and 3 bungee cords to strap them down to the floor. The hay and the water bottles are floating around and hitting me in the face, as are the bags of pig chow. It is simply horrifying. Interesting. Al or Christoph, tell us exactly how did this happen?
Well, Stone, according to the center translator, who unfortunately arrived a few minutes after liftoff, they believe that Christoph was offering to trade places with the 3 little pigs. A quick decision had been made here internally, but they did not have time to change out the food or amenities. That said, it is historic. Also, I'm being told that there is 3 other spacesuits in the capsule of varying sizes for Christoph to change into, although again, those are designed for pigs.
Yep, we get it. Keep us informed. Crash, what's your thoughts on this development?
Well, Stone, I wonder who sent that poor silly little man over there in the first place. I hope this doesn't turn out to be some kind of stunt to raise our ratings. Stone?
What ratings? We're an internet news program. Now, word of the launch has reached the White House. Not Jennifer Tilly Gore?
Well, as you might predict, the press secretary is reframing this story and has made this statement, and I quote, "This is what happens when you hire illegals. Then they get judgments for cash in a liberal state of California and use that money to pay for a flight into space with a known enemy of the American space program. The president believes that India is trying to copy him by starting their own space force, and he says, quote, I'm going to tell on them." In a related report, when Elon Musk was asked about the event, he said, "I can get you 1,000 pigs in space by Friday. In fact, I'm launching 3 pigs this afternoon to Mars. You know that the Cybertruck is airtight. It can be used as a re-entry vehicle." And then he just trailed off talking about bovines and zero gravity only producing 2% milk, so about normal around here, Stone.
Curiouser and curiouser, Alice cried. Will Christoph return from space? Pigs on Mars? Space Force wars? Our man on the street?
Hey, you know, Stone, my cousin Joey Bigmouth would talk so much shit. Sometimes people would forget their own name, but if someone doesn't start talking about food costs and unemployment soon, people are gonna get really pissed off. I mean, I got a few jobs and a couple of no-so jobs, if you know what I mean, but times are tough for the squares, you know? Oh, and put $20 on that little guy making it home. I got faith, Stone.
Indeed. We turn now to our own resident doctor, Dr. Femur. Doctor, what can Christoph expect from his impromptu space adventure? Well, Stone, I know he's traveled in time and been to Guantanamo Bay, but space has many challenges. Zero gravity, no air, space radiation, micrometeors, and negotiating pooping in a vacuum tube. And evidently, eating pig chow. However, the kind of isolation and detachment from reason that can turn a man into a pile of goo is the big issue. A man like Christoph, given his tender sensibilities, will not last a day up there. He'll be snorting mad by 5 p.m. Stone?
Cheerful, Doc. Thanks for that bedside manner. Perhaps our weather girl, Wendy Days, has something bright for us. Wendy?
Thanks, Stone. I really like that little fella, and I hope for the best. I knew a man in Vegas called Pig Chow. Just as a side story, he worked at Circus biting the heads off of bats for tourists, and he did all right. My forecast for Christoph returning safely is around 62%, less if he lands anywhere near Florida. However, the chances of him never being the same are 100%. Stone?
Thanks, Wendy. That's it for us here at Rapid Fire News. Stay tuned for more continued coverage of Christoph in space. This has been Rapid Fire News. News at the speed of gunfire.